One major problem we have in the United States is people who rage against the machine. And this happens on the left and it happens on the right, but I think it's most prominent on the left. We have this archetype in America, and it can be good, where we want to be radicals, rebels, upend the machine. Well, that's okay, especially when you're young, you're 16 to 19, you're rebelling, you don't have a lot of power, but you feel like you got to change something. That's normal. The problem I'm seeing is this rage against the machine, which should be a stage you go through in your late teens, early 20s. It's persisting longer and longer into adulthood. And the problem, especially in the West, generally speaking, is our systems are pretty good. So if you carry this rage against the machine into your late 20s, early 30s, 40s, 50s, you end up wanting to destroy things that really work. So you have this archetype, the ideal archetype is the rager against the machine, and that's what you aspire to. So you grow old and you want to upend capitalism, the Constitution. You want to destroy colorblindness. You hate the police. You hate everything, and you're just constantly raging against the machine. Now, listen, if you're an adult and you live in Iran and you're raging against the theocratic machine there's legitimate forms of raging against the machine as you get older. But hopefully as you get older, you would start to see, well, I've studied history, I've studied other parts of the world, enough different philosophies, different economic systems. What we have here is actually pretty good. Maybe I should be a defender of the machine by and large. What I think we need to do is start teaching kids, you have this rebellious phase, but then start to have gratitude and start to appreciate what's built around you. And instead of being a rager against the machine, you be a tweaker, not like a meth head, but like a tweaker of the machine, because there are problems in America. There are parts of the machine that need to be fixed. And there are parts of the machine that maybe you should rage against for sure. But for the most part, these big machines, these big systems work pretty damn well. They're not perfect. Obviously, this isn't heaven on earth. They're not going to be perfect. So you're going to have, when you try to deal with the bureaucracy, there's going to be some friction. There's going to be some anger there because, big machines are sometimes impersonal. Fine. I get all of that. But if you step back, take your ego out of it, take yourself out of it, you realize these are our legal system, the structure of the American government, our economic system are very, very, very good. These machines are very good. You shouldn't rage against them. For the most part, you should defend these machines. That's what being a conservative was. It's actually what a tradition. So in the past, the conservative was one who said, don't mess with the machines too much. And the traditional liberal, the wise liberal, was, hold on, look at this part of the machine over here. We need to fix that, right? So they could rage against that part of the machine, but a traditional liberal would step back and say, I still love America, right? I still love our country. I still love capitalism. But you know what? There's a social program here that the government needs to do. And see, that's the healthy balance. The conserver of the machine, the apparatus here in the West at least, and then the tweakers of the machine, which were traditional liberals. So anyways, I think a major problem is people fall in love with the archetype of the rager against the machine in a society where the machines are pretty good, not perfect, but pretty good, and have a good track history of creating wealth, stability, so on and so forth. But you should grow out of that phase as you get older. I mean, one part of the machine you could rage against and tweak is the amount of money we're spending, spending too much money, printing too much money, that could jeopardize the system. So raging against that part of the machine, wanting to tweak, fix, renovate that part of the machine is a form of conservation for the machine itself, the larger machine, the machine of America. So anyways, I'm always around people who are raging against the machine. And I think maybe you should conserve the machine for the most part and just work on parts of the machine, tweak the machine. So if you're a tweaker of the machine, give me a like and a follow.